You know, Disney movies nowadays surprise me more and more every time I go see them. And I'm talking about the live action films now. And The Jungle Book is no exception. It is an achievement, by all means necessary. It is something that, once it comes on screen, you can't take your eyes off of it. Not just because of its visuals, but because of how enthralling the story is and how deeply invested you are into everything. The Jungle Book is the new live-action adaptation from Disney, which is directed, of course, by Jon Favreau, who directed Iron Man 2, and starred and directed the movie Chef, and he did it again this time. He did it again. He absolutely stole the show, and I want you to just forget the visual aspect for a second. We'll talk about it enough, trust me. I want you to understand how good of a director Jon Favreau is, and he showed that to me in Chef, and to a lot of people in Iron Man as well. But in this film, he just gets it. He's one of those people that just knows how to make a really good movie and really suck you into its characters and world. It really is enthralling how amazingly invested you are into this movie. Not just because it's your favorite story from your childhood, but because this movie is made in a fashion that you really do feel everything that is going on and everything that is happening to these characters. You can relate on so many levels, when you can't relate, because it's obviously fiction, you understand it so well. Also, the outstanding job by the cast. I mean, Bill Murray, Idris Elba, Scarlett Johansson, Ben Kingsley, the list goes on and on and on. The kid who played Mowgli, I don't know his name. Fantastic. You know, he was a little bit off from times, I will say that, but he's a kid and I don't hold it against him. But all in all, the cast did astonishing. Now, from the moment this movie comes onto the screen, you are glued. It is ridiculously terrifying how good this movie looks. I was sitting down and my mind, within the first 2 to 3 minutes, I was like, holy shit. I was like, wow. I mean, the trailers don't do this movie justice. My God, does this movie look good. And supposedly, even when they were running through the jungle, that's all sets, and also most of the jungle is CGI, and I'm sitting there going like, what? You can't tell me that? Like, get out of here. I mean, my God, the visual effects team, and again, Jon Favreau as the director. I can't say enough about these guys. These guys did an outstanding job. Absolutely outstanding. You cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's CGI'd. It is ridiculous. And the characters themselves, even though they're CGI, the emotion on them, you feel everything, and they do look, well, for the most part, they do look like the actor counterparts, at least the face part. You can see the actors within them, and that's awesome. I mean, you can see Bill Murray within Baloo, and by the way, Baloo was the best character in the movie, in my opinion. I'll get to that in a second. But all in all, just the visual effects aspect, I just really do want to say that you guys are amazing. Please continue to do what you do, and Jon Favreau, do not stop directing these kind of movies. Then I want to get to the emotional side of things in Jungle Book. This movie made me cry in a very specific scene that was so hard for me, because I understood it so well. It was between Mowgli and his wolf mom. I believe her name is Rakasha, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, or Rakasha, whatever it is. I'm horrible with names. Or Rakasha, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. And it was the moment when he was leaving, you know, because, again, he had to leave because there's a tiger hunting him. You've seen the trailers. That moment, the way it was done, the way it was written, the way it was acted out, the way it was voice acted, the way that the CGI looked, and the way that the music was in that scene, made me cry my eyeballs out. I mean, my God, if you do not at least tear up in that scene, you are not human. I was sitting there, was like, Disney, fuck you. Oh my God, I was depressed for like a good minute or two. I was like, damn it, you know. By the way, while I'm on the topic, the music, from the split second it comes on screen, from the split second the music hits, just you cannot get enough of it, you know. I love how the story progressed. It didn't feel choppy. It didn't feel poorly edited. It didn't have those kind of nitpicks that you can string upon. It was so beautifully crafted and everything made sense. I will say one thing though. Aquila, his death was a little bit meaningless, and I'll explain what I mean by that. it didn't have that emotion. The entire thing building up to it was so tense and was so emotional. I thought they could have dragged that scene out a little bit more and made it even more terrifying with Khan. I just think that it was really short-handed, and they didn't kind of expand on the emotions of everyone else around it. That's my only nitpick against this entire movie, because everything else, by God, this is amazing. I mean, it is all fun from the very beginning to the very end. Baloo stole the show. Bill Murray is amazing in this film. He is so on point. He is so emotional. He is funny. He is loving. It's just fantastic. The way that Baloo interacted with Mowgli was some of the better interactions between any characters I've seen, because it was a true friendship. You know, and the way that Baloo was speaking to Mowgli when Mowgli was thinking about going to the or the actual human city that they were trying to get him to, he gave him a really interesting speech. And I won't spoil it for you, but it's one of those speeches that you think that he wants to use him for his own good, but he actually wants him to be himself, you know, and he just wants Mowgli not to be a man with men. He wants him to be a man in the jungle where he belongs. And there's also a moment that showcases that later on, when Bagheera comes back and wants him to go with him to the human city, and he does something, Mowgli does something that opens everyone's eyes. And I mean, what I mean by everyone, I mean everyone in the audiences. I mean, it opened up Bagheera's eyes right away, but everyone in the audience felt that same way, and it's so enthralling. It's so well done! You know, this movie is beyond amazing. By the way, Scarlett Johansson as Kaa, for the one scene she was there, I fucking loved that. Okay, she was perfect. Okay, she wasn't in the movie too much, she wasn't in the movie too little, she was just the right amount, and I loved her. Okay, I loved her. By the way, Ben Kingsley as Bagheera, I just want to say this, very believable. I believe that was the voice of the Panther, so well cast as well. And the way that this movie progressed to the epic climactic fight was very interesting, because it takes its time. It doesn't feel as if it's as long as it is. It takes its time, and you're just having so much fun that by the time you get to the end, you're like, no, but I want more, you know? So good. I mean, look, I can ramble on and on and on, but you get the point. It's a 10 out of 10. You have to see this movie. It is everything you want and more. I promise you that from the bottom of my heart. If you love the animated film, you know, way back when, if you love the story itself, you will love this movie. Even if you have never seen it, you will be so enthralled by everything. It is, you'll have to take it in. You'll have to walk out of the theater and really breathe, because it's so good. I mean, it's so epic on such a big scale. Everything from the music to the motion capture to the CGI to the execution to the writing to the directing, everything, just everything about it is amazing to me. It is such an achievement in my eyes that it really will boost Jon Favreau into next superstardom class of directing, and I cannot wait to see what this guy has to offer. And Disney, please do make him make more movies like this, please, for the love of God. But that's my opinion on it. Again, 10 out of 10 from me. If you guys saw the movie, give me a comment in the comment section below. Let your boy know, let's have a conversation about it. If you enjoy my review, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Really do appreciate that. Hope you have a wonderful day, and peace out, guys.